talk about any of that, I've got to make some things really clear. Ed O.G., Big Shug, Almighty RSO. Okay? These guys are the godfathers of our Boston hip hop. Ed O.G. has certified hip hop classics. RSO has a classic. Big Shug has a classic. Big Shug is the co-founder of Gang Starr, the gold standard of hip hop, recognized the world round. 2 out of the 3 members of Gang Starr are from where? Boston. Okay? 2 out of the 3. DJ Premier from Texas. Ed O.G., we are lucky to have you. The God E. Okay? Bugaboo, I gotta have it. Be a father to your child. Those are hip hop classics. Without a doubt. One in the Chamber by Almighty RSO, classic. Crush by Big Shug, right there. Okay? Big Shug is such a thorough guy. His first single that he put out, Treat You Better, was a singing record in a time where rappers didn't sing. That's how thorough Shug was. Shug freestyled all of his records up until the Militia, and he wrote the verse for the Militia, was his first written verse. Ed O.G. is a gem. Big Shug is a gem. Everybody from RSO, all those guys, salute and props to them. The biggest problem in Boston, as it is to this day, we don't have a radio station here. We do not. That's the number one reason why most artists leave Boston to go other places, because the exposure just is not here. Okay? The camaraderie and the love that I see in Boston is much better now, and that's because, as Brad pointed out, we have the internet. So people have the ability to get music out and work with other artists, do collaborations. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. So now I see a lot more fluidity in the community so far as people looking out for one another, people trying to help people out, people shouting people out. It's not like a massive competition. We kind of, as a movement here in this city, have kind of recognized that together we are stronger. And I see that with a lot of cats, like I see that with Millies. I see that with a lot of people. They're always looking to branch out and work within our own cipher and create, a movement here. The frustrating part is we don't have a record station. Okay, we do not have a record. We don't have a radio station, not a record station. We don't have a radio station, and we never have. I mean, like some of the first hip hop that ever got played here was by Magnus, and that was Lecos Limas, and that was in '85, and that started in a little radio station at MIT. And then we had WILD out of Dudley, and then we had WERS, and then 94.5 kind of had the launching pad and stuff for a while. Then Hot 97 was here for a second, but look at all the careers that got sprung out of Hot 97. That was when we had a real big radio station for once. That's what we had. I think Boston has always had a ton of talent. It has always been that way. Some of my favorite rappers that ever existed in the world are from Boston. Some of the most influential artists and people, rappers and artists in hip hop are from Boston. Hip hop classics out of Boston. So I do see a change in it now. The crowds are very different. The people are very different, but the mentality of the artists on a whole is in a different place. And that's because at least I think that some of them get to get heard. You guys got to understand something, okay? When you went to the studio when I was first coming up, it was a lot of money, right? You didn't have Pro Tools. You didn't have ADATs. You had to buy a 2-inch reel-to-reel Ampex tape, okay? And that had to go on a Studer, reel-to-reel recorder. And then you didn't have flying faders. You didn't have memory. You had tape on the board to mark down your sessions. And the studio was like $200 an hour. So when you went in there, you really had to get it popping. And DJs weren't playing cassettes. You had to have vinyl press stuff. You know what vinyl costs? You know what I mean? So back then, to be an artist cost a lot of money. So there was a lot at stake. You know what I mean? Now, the advances in technology have made it a lot easier for us to make music way cheaper and get it out way easier. And I think that helps breed a more positive community. There's a lot of beautiful artists, man, men and women in our city, in New England. They are just, I'm really proud to be from here. You know what I mean? I'm really proud of the music scene here. I'm proud of everybody in it. You know, I got a lot of guys that I work with that I follow and watch. I really enjoy, that I have a ton of love and respect for. I think the energy is as good as it's ever been, and I'm really excited to see what happens moving forward. You know what I mean? I love it.